Welcome back to Tales from the Road. We take pride here in our biting humor, but not in our biting dogs, okay?
That's
so
right.
we're talking about bites today and bite prevention, since this is right now, as we're taping this, this is the end of second to last week of May 17th or something in there, and this is Animal Bite Prevention Week according to the AVMA.
National Bite Prevention Week.
Yeah, the AVMA, just real quickly about the American Veterinary Medical Association is your professional association, and many, if not most veterinarians are members, but that's they do a lot of public awareness types of campaigns along with other organizations as well. There are state VMAs and the AAHA and things like that, but AVMA is kind of the big one.
It's sort of the umbrella that kind of governs everything. And they have an awesome website as far as community outreach and doing public awareness things and health and stuff. So absolutely go to avma.org.
avma.org, and you'll learn all about it. Okay. Well, we're talking about animals give you a signal when you may be getting too close, too aggressive, too friendly, and everybody loves dogs. I love dogs, but you do have to give the dog a chance to let you know when it's ready, because you probably don't have as much of a defense, right? So how do we know?
Well, a couple of things that we want to watch for are those body language signs. Again, this is where we have to learn how to talk dog. So body language signs that are showing a dog who's fearful or maybe a little insecure. So a couple of things you're going to look for are going to be the ears tend to kind of come back a little bit. Sometimes we call them airplane ears. So they'll kind of flatten out and kind of come back towards the back of the head. We may get something that's called a whale eye, which is basically where you'll see a lot of the white of the eye. The eye may roll a little bit, and you'll see more of the white. We'll see sometimes the eyebrows will move really rapidly, like they're looking all over like this. There's going to be a lot of avoidance type behaviors. So they won't look at you. They're going to try to avoid, pretend like you're not there. Might be looking for space, looking for a way to kind of get out of the situation or the vicinity. Licking their lips a lot. Yawning. You get these really big wide yawns. They're not suddenly sleepy. It's just a stress.
I never heard of yawn. I didn't realize yawning was one of those things.
Yeah, yawning. And then also we'll sometimes see them actually almost try to look like they're sleeping. I mean, they'll get down like this, and they'll just like, I'm not here, I'm not here.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. Now, as dogs become more stressed, we'll see a kind of an amplification of all those signs. They may start to now get really jittery and restless, and you may start to see more wrinkles in the face, and you'll see stuff coming up like this, and the lips will start to come back, and you'll start to see more teeth. Now, the general sort of rule of thumb for you is that if you are seeing more teeth this way, those are generally nervous dogs. Okay, if you see teeth this way, that's going to be more of an offensive type posture. So when their corners are like this, that's not a fearful dog.
They're getting their teeth
they're
out and ready.
They're showing off the goods.
That's good.
So but these guys that are really nervous, like doing like this, they're all going to be the nervous dogs. Now,
they can become angry eventually.
They will become aggressive eventually. It's called fearful aggression. It's the very most common type of aggression that we see. So, and they don't do any less damage.
Okay.
So let's take a quick look, and we'll give you some practice looking at these signs. I have to set this little video up first. This is Gunner, and he's showing us some fear body language. There was some commotion going on at the other end of the house and made him very uncomfortable. And I happened to be texting someone, and so I flipped over to my camera and taped him so y'all could see it. So he's showing us some of the beginning signs of some fear behavior. You can see that. So here he is, and he's avoiding. He doesn't want to look at anything. He's got his ears back, kind of this worried look up in his face. And if you look at it, and you can kind of see the eyebrows are going all over. He's like, I'm not here, I'm not here. He's looking, and he's kind of cowered down a little bit, a little hunched. Oh, what was that?
What's he nervous about?
So now I was trying to talk to him, but now he's still avoiding, doing the little lip smack we saw.
Yeah.
There's another one. So.
Licking the lips. That's interesting too. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that one. But the dogs aren't particularly good at hiding their emotional state, are they?
No,
Generally, they it's not like they try to act casual.
Right.
And, they just don't understand that kind of an activity. Right.
They'll hide pain and illness, but they pretty much let you know what they're thinking.
Okay.
So now that we have, at least an introductory base for what things might look like for a fearful dog, we need to now kind of go over, okay, there are some duties and responsibilities on both sides of the equation here to try to prevent a bite from happening. So we're going to talk next about kind of the animal side of the equation, and either things that your pet needs to do or that you need to teach your pet to try to give them the best chance of avoiding a bite situation. So first thing, we always start at the beginning. So very, very first thing is making sure that you have a correct match, pet to family match, and also that you get into that very early socialization. Cannot stress enough how important puppy kindergarten and those early socialization classes are, because that's where they start to build the foundation. That's where we start getting them used to seeing things other than their family, places other than their own home. In fact, by the time they're about 3 months old, a puppy needs to have met about 150 new people.
Really?
And up into the several hundred by the time they're about 6 months old. So
I gotcha.
So we really need to get them out there and get them going and reward this, make all these things very positive. And it's a continuing process. So I see a lot of people who will come in with adult dogs who will say, well, I just don't know what's going on. He went to puppy class. I'm like, well, yeah, but my son can't do long division if he's only gone to kindergarten.
Right.
So, you have to, it's a continual process, and you have to keep them up on it. It's kind of a, use it or lose it kind of thing. Positive reinforcement, positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is absolutely critical. The things that you want them to model their behavior after, you have to positively reinforce. And this goes for two-leggeds and four-leggeds alike. We know this is the strongest, most sort of set-in learning style is through positive reinforcement.
Okay.
Okay. They need to be taught to take their cues and confidence from you. So if they are in an unfamiliar situation, then they can look to you and know that it's okay. And the really important way to do that is they need to know that you are very consistent and don't want to say pack leader because that's not exactly your role, but you are the consistent provider of their resources and comfort and guidance. And as long as you're consistent with that, they will look to you in an unfamiliar situation and go like, oh, what do I need to do about this?
Right. Well, this is why a lot of dog owners actually, now, and maybe this isn't exactly the right way to do it, but I've been in situations where a dog is nervous and then the owner will say, it's okay, Fido,
go for it.
And Fido, and they call the dog over, and there's really almost like a little introduction of this is so-and-so, this is Fido, it's fine,
it's okay.
And the dog usually calms down.
Yeah, and if they are and start to get into a tight spot, then it's also really important for the owner to, or the person who's with them, to give them something else to do, to get them thinking.
Right.
So once dogs get very, very fearful or they actually reach an aggressive state, now they're beyond learning. Okay, they're too emotional. They don't have their head in their brain. It's just that's not when you can do this. So in those early ramping up stages, when you say, okay, come on over here, let's do some sit, let's do some, and you give them something else to do to focus on when that sort of uncertain situation is happening.
Yeah, right. The things that they are safe with, generally.
Right. Now we also know that pets who are painful, who have medical problems or anything like that, are also going to be more likely to be aggressive. So absolutely keeping up on your wellness examinations, your full physicals, getting those early detection screenings done. All that's really important because if we've got a dog with thyroid or chemical balance or pain that we don't notice right away at home, some of those types of things will go a long way towards helping prevent bites as well.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I think a real important thing, especially out in a campground type environment, would be let them get out of the situation. If they are uncomfortable and they're trying to get away, go ahead and let them. You're not reinforcing, oh, that's scary. But you're allowing them to not escalate.
And not force them into a situation where they don't need to be. And walk them the other way or whatever if there's something that's concerning them. Or at least stop. Sometimes when just walking through a park, an animal will suddenly become fearful of something.
Right.
And, maybe it's time to take a moment to figure out, okay, what is it we're fearful of?
Right.
Instead of just saying, oh, it's nothing, come on.
Yeah.
Because sometimes animals notice things we don't.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I'd say probably about the only, the other things would be, of course, spaying and neutering. We know that intact pets are more likely to become aggressive, so males and females. So spaying and neutering is always important, besides all the health benefits of it. And then we also want to do our very, very darndest to try to increase that bite threshold as much as possible. so that, you know, we have that line in the sand,
Right.
and up to that point I can cope, and over that line is now I feel like I have to use my teeth to get out of the situation. So we're going to raise that bar as high as possible.
Right.
So a couple of ways we do that with our really young puppies is we use this very high-pitched yip. I had some fantastic video of my sons doing this.
Oh.
But
We have some fantastic
yes,
video
we
of Jill
do.
doing this, as a matter of fact. I know what this is.
but basically what we want to teach them is when they're with their litter mates and they're
Right.
doing their thing, and somebody gets too rough and it's too much, they yip.
Okay.
And so basically what we're going to do is talk dog, and we're going to teach them, hey, that's too much. Now the only thing with that though is we are going to teach them that any contact at all with my skin or my clothes
With your teeth.
is too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your mouth is
Yeah.
too much. And so you literally do a kind of yip.
I
okay?
told you she could do this. This is, yeah.
Guys can do this too. I've seen it. You can do it.
I don't know if
Dave
I
can do
it
it too.
Okay.
Maybe not the same
practice.
pitch, but yeah, it'll be effective regardless. And, so,
Okay.
and it's really funny because especially like in the exam rooms with new puppies
Right.
and stuff, you'll see they'll be like, seriously? Really? That hurts? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
So
Okay.
humans are the wussiest things on the planet.
Okay. So, good. Okay, well, practice your yips.
That's right.
And while we take a quick break, and we'll be back with more about bite prevention here on Tales from the Road.
That's right. No. Yipping, yipping. There you go.
Got a question or a comment for Dr. Jill Windy? Get in touch at tales@rvnn.tv or leave a voicemail at 877-578-RVNN, extension 705. Hey, why not email a photo of you and your pet on the RV trail? We love pictures, and we might just use it in an upcoming episode. Follow RV Newsnet on Facebook and Twitter, and you can receive text messages to alert you when we're streaming live by texting RVNN to 72727. That way, you can join us live in the chat room, ask questions, and become part of the RV Newsnet family. Remember, any photos or other material submitted to us become the property of RV Newsnet and cannot be returned. Today's show is brought to you by Angie's List, where you'll find thousands of unbiased reports and reviews about service companies in your area. Whether you're looking for a roofer, plumber, house cleaner, dentist, or even a doctor, Angie's List members share their experiences with each other so that you can choose the service company that's right for your job. Companies can't pay to be on Angie's List, and the reviews come from people just like you who have had experience with the companies mentioned. To find out more, go to rvnn.tv and click on the Angie's List ad.